Hello and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 between Fnatic and Mousesports. We're gonna see which one of these two teams will be taking on the 3rd place for the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament and which one will be facing Virtus.pro in the Grand Finals tomorrow at 1900 CEST time. Mousesports, 1 game up in the series, will look to force out a 2-0 victory over Fnatic. Fnatic, of course, looking to take it back. Still heavy in their bootcamp practicing, and we're gonna see if that practice paid off in this potentially last match for them. They kind of looked not that strong in the first game, and we're gonna see if they can look strong in this second game. Of course, with me is Knaz. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So, you know, I don't mind one-sided games. I definitely don't. Sometimes they're even very enjoyable to watch. But it felt like it was just not Fnatic playing. Like, we know that Fnatic can do better, and that's the most frustrating thing. If you know that a matchup like Fnatic Mousesports should be a good matchup, and we know that Fnatic can do better, and they just, I don't know, they don't seem to be having that drive that game. It's so sad. I'm gonna hope that they have that this game, though.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely didn't feel particularly strong that game. There was some sloppy play, giving first blood to the solo off lane lifestealer when you're running a tri-lane against them is less than ideal, to say the least. But yeah, there were just a lot of sloppy plays, maybe some questionable decisions throughout, and then Mousesports built up an advantage, and they're a team that don't typically give away that advantage once they've built it up. So things went well for them. We'll see if Fnatic have something a little bit better in mind this game. They kind of designed this the bans in this game so that they would get Batrider, but Mousesports pick up Outworld, and it's scary to lane a Batrider into Outworld because it's not going to go well.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time that we see Outworld today. Got banned out in all the other matches that we saw. Yeah,
I think it either got banned out or was it banned?
I think banned, and in at least the first 2 ban stages.
Sure. Yeah, definitely throughout the game it was banned at some point. It wasn't always like first phase ban. Exactly. So there were opportunities to see it picked up, but other heroes maybe got picked a little bit more high priority. But we are going to see here, and Naga once again is showing up, likely still being support. It feels like that has kind of become the role Naga has been relegated to.
Yep, when you see him Batrider and Weaver for Fnatic, though, I mean, you already mentioned Batrider, not really the most strong hero up against Mousesports OD. And, you know, there would be an option to just rotate Batrider into the jungle and then still select one strong hero up against the OD, but Weaver is the pickup for Fnatic, and Weaver against OD is not really ideal either. No, definitely not ideal at all. So, Weaver on the offlane, we're gonna assume played by Trixie again, and then Batrider, of course, he could still go into the jungle. We know that no-tails Batrider is no joke. It could still happen, but I'm kind of for now expecting that not to happen. We have a Lich ban out by Mousesports. I like Mousesports bans. Very team-tailored, and they really, I mean, we saw that up against IC Cup as well. They really do their homework. Banning out the Morphling again, banning out the Lich now as well. I mean, the other bans were kind of standard, with the Lifestealer still for Fnatic in the first phase, Visage, IO there as well. And the only non-conventional thing that we see here is that Batrider actually made it through. But apparently Mousesports being okay with that. And Darkseer now banned out by Fnatic, just knowing that Mousesports still need an offlane. So far they've played more aggressive offlaners though. Koifa has played some Lifestealers, and well, it is the more passive offlaners that get banned out by Fnatic, but now also the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah. So I think we're in a really neat place in terms of balance right now, whether teams can do this, like what Mousesports is currently doing, and ban targeted to the team that they're playing against, rather than like the heroes that are too strong to let through, which was the case for quite a while. So it's smart for Mousesports. It's very beneficial for them if that is the case, and obviously they at least believe it is, and they're doing well, so it feels like it's right.
Yep.
To be able to just ban these heroes out, you know that Fnatic like some of these heroes, like the Morphling. They're just taking it on the first ban phase. We're not even giving you an opportunity to pick up the Morphling that they've been using to some success lately. Lich, Chen. These are heroes that we don't see banned out that often, but they are heroes that Fnatic plays particularly well, so they're just going to take them out. Fnatic, I think you're right that they could still run Batrider as a jungler. Viper is a hero that Fnatic have talked up quite a bit, and is pretty decent against OD, I think, in the mid lane. It's a hero that they were talking about as sort of a counter to the Tree OD combo. We'll see if that's the route they end up going, if Mousesports are thinking about that, and maybe if they try and wait till the last pick phase it gets banned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing how this draft turns out.
Yeah, both teams having now support picked up with the Rubik and the Keeper of the Light. Rubik and Naga Siren, not really a conventional combination to have as our supports. I mean, both kind of do the same thing as both setup heroes, if you will. You've got an Ensnare and you've got a Telekinesis. Of course, if you have got the Fate Bolt and the Riptide there at the same time, that's quite painful to have. Not really expecting aggressive trailing coming off from Mouse, but the potential is still there. I think it's mostly going to be depending on what Fnatic is going to pick up. And with already having a Keeper of the Light, running an aggressive trailing up against that, not really nice unless you know for a fact that you can take that aggressive trailing. Of course, Keeper of Light, one of the more defensive heroes, he'll just sit back, spam Illuminate, and you won't be really having a chance to get close. Lone Druid will be the pickup for Mousesports. Not the first time that we've seen that today. We've seen it on Koikfi, we've seen it on Black, we've seen it in the mid lane from Koikfi actually. But leaving everything open yet for Mousesports, I mean, you can't really say too much about it. We've seen OD on the suicide lane carry, even on aggressive trial lane rather. We've seen him on the safe lane, we've seen him played by Black, we've seen him played by Fada, and I mean, I like this. Multiple roles, multiple heroes, and not really giving anything away. Same thing goes for Fnatic, I guess, though, apart from now saying that Batrider will not be going into the jungle because they pick up a second support. And one thing that is nice to note, and that we have been seeing more and more lately, is that there's no strength hero on the board.
Yeah, I mean, there are tanky heroes, but not strength heroes. Lone Druid is a particularly tanky hero.
Yeah.
Weaver has survivability in a different sense, not particularly just through large amounts of HP, but through just Weaver's abilities to sort of be tricky. Yeah, so we're seeing carries banned out now, and looks like both teams are expecting whatever the one position is for the opponent to come out next.
Yeah. Fnatic banning out the anti-mage. And there's a gyrocopter, so we've got ourselves a triple core for Mousesports and no strength hero. By the way, the game that Fnatic played, the first game of the best of 3 that Fnatic played up against Virtus Pro in the winners bracket finals last Tuesday, also no strength hero whatsoever. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's something that Valve may be looking to change at some point, because it's pretty common to, like, strength heroes are not picked that often anymore, like in general.
Yeah, it's kind of always been the case where strength heroes are seen as the weakest of the primary attributes, and intelligence are typically the most picked of the primary attributes. I mean, this is an even split between agility and int in this game. We have 5 and 5. Yeah, it's just kind of the case because the most intelligence heroes are supports. Yeah. And also a lot of the common mid heroes are intelligence heroes, so we see those heroes quite often. And then the more powerful carries typically are the agility heroes, because agility, as the stat scales better into the late game, it's better to have armor and attack speed along with your damage rather than just like getting lots of bulk HP with your damage.
Still a shame. I mean, no strength hero whatsoever. Even in reverse captain's mode, everybody needed to have one of each attribute. That would be a terrible rule, by the way, to be implemented in captain's mode, I know.
Yeah, no, it would make things very awkward.
Yes.
Because some of the strength heroes, there aren't that many strength heroes that have alternative roles. Like, we see Wisp banned out all the time. Yeah. Wisp is a strength hero, but otherwise there aren't that many supports. It's like Wisp and Earthshaker.
Yes.
That's like all of the ones that are commonly used at all. I'm not thinking of any others. There might be something else.
Perhaps.
Doom's not really a support. Like,
but he is sometimes picked up.
Okay. Yeah, Doom gets played from time to time. We see Alchemist and Lifestealer get played as carries. Yeah. But all these heroes, strength still sort of getting the short end of the stick in terms of the primary attributes. All right, let's go over teams.
Yes. Before we do that, of course, You're watching the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament. If you want to win prizes, you can. Go to gc.corsair.com. You only have to like them on Facebook and enter your email address. That's it. No story why you should be the one to win things. But go win things, because you can win a fully completed, or completely rigged gaming PC. It's of course always worth trying out for. So gc.corsair.com. This is the loser bracket finals. Winner of this match will move on to the grand finals tomorrow, which will be a best of 5 versus Virtus Pro. No winners bracket advantage, mind you. The advantage that Virtus Pro gets is the free day today, of course, compared to the teams that are playing right now. Fnatic and Mousesports. Game 2 of the best of 3. Mousesports 1 game ahead. And Mousesports captain Cinderin will play the support Naga Siren for this game. Pass will be on the Rubik, and they will all be supporting Black on the safe, Trial lane on the top lane, Black playing the Gyrocopter in the mid lane, Fada on the OD, and then on the off lane it will be Quickfa playing the Lone Druid, and I believe, oh, he does have a Panda Bear, cool. So yeah, that's everybody on the Dire side.
Yep, and on the Radiant we're going to have Fnatic. Era going to be farming down in that bottom lane on the Phantom Lancer. Joining him will be the two supports, No Tail on the Bane, and Fly on the Keeper of the Light. Mid lane's going to be handled by Hani on the Weaver, and finally their off lane will be Trixie on the Batrider, who's currently hanging out in the jungle. We'll see how long he ends up staying there, or if he heads up towards that top lane.
Yeah, if he gets forced to that top lane. We do have some pooling going on, but it's only single stack pooling, unless Pass can get the other stack with there, which is of course a possibility, but we might have a bit of a push here, because Black with the Rock Barrage just cleaning out the waves, maybe forcing Batrider to the lane just to, you know, deny him some experience in that way. In the meantime, Quickfa is having a tough time because, of course, No Tail, the Bane, one of the counters against the Lone Druid offlane purely for the power to Nightmare the Bear. And actually, this is going to be 300 gold going the way of the support No Tail. That's insane. That is an immense amount of gold that you give to a support so early on in the game. Better yet, there is, well, actually, there's a resummon in 4 seconds. Well, that's nice, but Quickfa has to be really careful that he doesn't do that more often.
Yeah, we'll see how long Quickfa hangs out down here, or if he's going to abandon towards the jungle as well. If he's not having success really stealing creep waves, he might have to just give it up and leave. And Bane is real good against the bear. You can just put the bear to sleep, and then the creep wave will leave. So he's blocking the pull spawn, at least for the moment, but his hero is in trouble.
Yeah, but missed micro, and that's actually a kill. That's first blood. Congrats to all the people that got items there. Era taking the first blood with his illusion. The lance hit itself wasn't a kill, but the illusion did it. Nicely done, and that's gonna probably force him away from the lane. He doesn't have a... He is gonna go back there. I mean, there's a wave coming in, I guess. That's nice, but he doesn't have a bear for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that means he can't even abandon to the jungle for those 2 minutes. So he's just going to be stuck down here, hoping that he can get some experience. The creep wave is near his tower, so like it's a little bit safer, but things are not looking good for Quickfa at the moment.
Because in comes some illusions. No Tail has got that Nightmare, can set up for an Illuminate and for a Lance. Level 2 Lone Druid, not very tanky, and here they come. Here comes a Lance already, here comes an Illuminate. And that's gonna be a kill. No Nightmare needed, just hits. And No Tail gets himself the second kill of the game. And that's gonna be putting Fnatic ahead. And I just wanna express my happiness that it is not gonna be a stomp, I think. Unless it's gonna be a stomp for Fnatic, in which case we'll see a third game, which will be nice also.
I mean, it could still be a stomp. Just because they're shutting down the Lone Druid early doesn't mean that they're suddenly completely destroying the game.
No, don't defend the stomp.
I don't want it to be a stomp either, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we have Phantom Lancer on one side, and like Lone Druid Gyro on the other. I also don't want it to be a 90-minute game where we watch them farm.
True.
So...
True.
I don't know which one I would prefer. I guess I'm okay with the farm game. Both these teams can do some interesting things during that, and sometimes that's fun to watch. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it could still be stompy the other way. Don't count them out. Mousesports can do something fun.
They could. We'll see. We have a jungling Naga Siren, by the way, who just smoked up. Cinderin managed to get himself level 2 in those jungles. He's got an ensnare, he's got a Riptide, and looks to be finding Hani, who is completely out of mana. courtesy of Fada, and here they come. Here comes the Riptide and the Ensnare, and that's gonna be Hani in a lot of trouble, but the TP's come in. In comes the Keeper of the Light and the Illuminate. That's a kill! That's Hani with the kill. Should be. Gemini attack is up. One more hit needed. Ah, come on, no! Self! Fada turns around. That might not be the bestest choice he ever made. No Tail has got boost super fast because we got that bear kill, and now it's gonna be turned around again. Mousesports on the hunt. Koifa coming in as well, looking for a kill. No level 5 yet up on the Lone Druid, obviously, so no entangles, and in the end, nobody dies. Just a lot of wasted times and wasted TP scrolls and smokes.
Yeah, that was all over the place. Very close to several heroes dying. Fada, he used his salve, and I think he could have gotten away without... Or was that... Did he just pop Tranquils? I think it was the salve. So I don't know if that was the best thing he could do, but it did almost get the kill on Hani as a result of it, or at least force him back, and then he managed to juke through the trees so the Bane could not spot him out.
Oh, quite fun.
Things are... That's Quickfoot dead again.
Oh, he might be actually. Era can die because he has
spear.
got another lance in a second, and that's gonna be a kill if he just sees him. Oh. Look at that.
And they tried to block it with the bear, but
it was.
unfortunately...
This is a Yasha era at 5.5 minutes in.
It's interesting that he chose to go for the Yasha first.
Yes.
That's not, I think, typical of what we would see coming out here. It's a sign that he wants to go somewhat aggressive. If he's rushing the Yasha, that means he'll probably be going for a quick Manta style. Typically, we see either a Diffusal or sometimes the Radiance coming out first, not really like straight into Yasha before he even finishes boots, actually.
And sometimes even drums.
But it's... Yeah, it's
or
true. Sometimes we see stuff like drums. Yeah, he's got brown boots, so the Yasha gives him move speed. He doesn't need to finish boots. He gets move speed from Yasha.
True. Who cares about boots? And with this, he should be able to be alone on lane and still be able to kill off the bear. In the meantime, we still, of course, we would have Black farming. Black, who has got that Hand of Midas and will therefore be getting ahead in golden experience. He's got most last hits of the game as well. Of course, no kills on his plate yet, but he is highest on net worth. Courtesy of Hand of Midas, obviously. And then Koifa has rotated top, so he's farming there now. I wonder if Black is gonna go bottom with right now. I mean, he's level 8. No, he's still gonna go top.
No.
And that's quite surprising. And are they gonna share farm? Because I'm not a fan of that. But maybe they are.
No, I don't think they can share farm, but it looks like that's what they're doing at the moment. This is not what they need. I don't think Quakefoot can be up here and try and disrupt Black's farm at all. Black got that Midas at like 4 minutes, which is really fast for a Midas. No matter pretty much what you're doing, especially since he didn't get first blood or realistically any kills, Black is farming like a boss as per usual in typical Black fashion. But yeah, Quakefoot can't be up here being a real nuisance. I think it's just Quakefoot waiting for his bear to respawn and then he's going to jungle.
I mean, and Trixie hasn't really shown his face yet either. He's building towards a fast blink. He's got himself some Tranquils. I guess it's not that fast if he goes for Tranquils first, but he is he's on pretty good time. I mean, he's got 1500 gold. He's clearing stacks like crazy. Luckily, or unluckily for him, there's no stacks left anymore, just the normal regular caps. He'll be able to stack the next camp though. So yeah, doing pretty good for himself, and should be having a blink at about 9 minutes in, 9.5, something like that, perhaps. Or am I too optimistic?
Yeah, he could have it by that time. He can get in next minute as long as he can miss the pulls, and he doesn't look like he did. So he'll have it very, very shortly.
Maybe a bit.
Yeah, I'd say 9.5 minutes is right.
And we've got ourselves telekinesis of Fada. He is level 6 though, but oh, there goes the Sanity's Eclipse. That's Fada with a kill. And also that's Fada with, of course, a buckler to give himself some extra mana using that level 2 Essence Aura. And yeah, nice pickup. Nice pickup. Pass coming in there to have the an assist there. And of course, that was the first kill for Mousesports.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been 3 other kills, so that's the 4th total kill of the game, so it's not that far out or anything. Of course, a couple of those kills took place very early. All three of the other ones have been on. Yeah, Quakefa, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Quakefa is struggling, and I don't think anyone is surprised to hear that. Yeah, hopefully he can get back in it because Mousesports are going to need him as the game goes on. We've seen Lone Druids come back from this bad of a start before, though, especially with all the stacking that's going on in the Dire Jungle.
Yeah, Cinderin is doing work. Helping out quite fast. Synderen, of course, kinda forced to no longer farm. I mean, he was farming in the jungle. He was really doing okay. Or at least for a support Naga Siren jungling, that is. But he is now going towards the bottom lane. Let's see if he can do something. He has to be so careful. Riptide will force the creep wave back. He gets a lance in the face for his troubles, but doesn't go down for it. Tower still lives though, and that's of course the most important thing that there is. Look at that Weaver build. Goes for 2 bracers.
Yeah, he's just trying to tank up. He knows that he needs to be survivable to stay alive in this lane. He can't just rely on Shikuchi and time-lapse to really get him out. Time-lapse costs 150 mana at level 1. And there's a good chance he won't have that mana when he really needs it, because Fada is going to constantly be using the Astral Imprisonment on him, draining his intelligence, lowering it, obviously, to the point where he can't cast a spell. You were right about Batrider's timing. He got it almost precisely 9.5 minutes.
Ooh.
So he has his Batrider. It was a good call. 9 was a little optimistic.
Yeah, they want to try to stop.
Good.
Oh, look at that DP out! Black, he went bottom. Rocket Barrage is there. He's going to try to knight a tower. They try to go for Koikfa though, but Koikfa, I mean, even if he dies, it doesn't really matter that much. He's already shut down to begin with. Tower gets a knight. Bear will still go down. That's 300 gold that they at least get for 4 people rotating in and for showing off the blink on Trixie. That was a brilliant TP from Black, and I don't think he even noticed that something was
He's killing
wrong.
Era. He killed Era.
Oh, that's the best rotation for him ever. He's got 1800 gold right now, and just took down by himself. That was a solo kill. The Phantom Lancer, pretty neatly done for Black. MVP. Oh, telekinesis. Trixie in a lot of trouble. Mousesports taking down the Batrider. Illuminate will do some damage. Here comes the Astral Imprisonment, holding back the Bane for a little while. Goes for Brain Step. Synderen doesn't die yet though. Eclipse goes through. Time lapse away for Hani. He is still alive. Should be able to get himself away. Sentry Ward goes down, but I think that Fnatic is backing off for real this time. And these Sentry Wards don't scout each other out. Awesome.
They're just out of range of each other.
Just out of range of each other.
Yeah.
Comes Illuminate. That's a lot of damage. Nice Astral Imprisonment. Now realizing that there is indeed a Sentry Ward up. Telekinesis there as well. More mana for Hani. And I mean, all of a sudden it's 3 for 3, but as we always say, I mean, later kills mean more. And if we're talking about kills that mean a lot, I think Black's kill on Era meant a giant big deal.
A giant
big deal. That's a
yeah,
huge
no,
deal.
it's so big. Yeah,
Giant
you gotta
big
kill.
deal. Does that work?
The carry dodged a gank in the top lane, ports to the bottom lane, denies a tower, kills the opposing carry. Black, like, looked like a genius there.
Koikfa was doing some mean stuff. I mean, he was gonna die anyway, but he did dodge one of the hits of Hani with his transform into bear form. But yeah, that was an easy kill. That was the kind of kill that they were looking for Black. I mean, you said, I mean, it was the textbook gank. He had no idea that it was coming, just TP'd himself out. Koikfa though doesn't TP himself out. We by the way have a smoke up. Pass and Synderen hanging behind Black to see if they can do something there. Black, who is well 1300 gold away from his BKB. He's got his, I was gonna say his Hand of Midas off cooldown. Era, oh, there you go for someone else. Find the Bane. Bane is dead. Era is able to run himself away. There's no tower left anymore. That's what Black did as well. I mean, you know, why not, you know, not just take a kill on the carry, also take a kill on the tower. That was the second tower to go down on the side of Fnatic, and the towers are now 1 tower in favor of Mousesports. The gold graph, 3,000 gold in favor of Mousesports, 3,000 experience in favor of Mousesports. 4-4 is the kill score.
Yeah, close game, so it doesn't look like Stompy for Fnatic, and Era might be in trouble again.
Yeah. It goes invisible. There's still Sentry Ward there, but he's not too worried, especially not since No took him around, and he is level 6. He's got that Fiend's Grip. Of course, that's one of the upsides for him of being on a lane where actually that lone Druid died 3 times. I think he got experience at least for 2 of the kills. So that's pretty neat for the supports. We also have a level 6 Keeper of the Light. Actually, we have level 6 on everybody. At least, you know, Naga Siren as well as the Rubik, who is actually almost level 8. Who is level 8.
Yeah, things are still kind of even. Black is farming very well. That's the advantage for Mousesports. Quakefa is starting to catch up, just by virtue of he hasn't died recently. He got picked off in that top lane for his 4th death, but now he's sort of hanging out up there, farming the jungle when he can, lane when he can. Things have been worse for him. In the meantime, mid lane, That's where the focus is going to be.
Yeah, that's where the fight's gonna be. Synderen is gonna get Fiend Script, no song coming up from him. Illuminate will do some damage to Pass in the meantime. Synderen will not go down. That's an ass from Prism saving his life. There could be a song if he wants to. There's a song after the Mechanism. That's gonna be nice. Mechanism, of course, up on Fada, and they sing and get themselves out. No kills being done. 5 people there from Fnatic, and that's one of the bigger differences. I mean, 5 people there from Fnatic, but Mousesports have 4 there and have Koikva farming. And actually, Black is going back to farming as well. And that means that that Mousesports overall is back to farming before Fnatic heroes are back to farming. And even though Lone Druid had a very tough start, he is actually almost on par. Well, actually, he's still 600 gold away with the Weaver. And that was a solo mid, of course. Hani having quite some trouble, as we already pointed out. I mean, having 2 bracers, not ideal build for a Weaver.
Yeah, it's just kind of a product of the times. He was mid lane against Outworld. He needed to build what he needed to build. He needed those stats early on if he wanted to survive that lane. So it's not the worst thing he could do. And now he's kind of paying for it a little bit because Black has gotten so much farm and Era has sort of stalled up a little bit, maybe getting punished slightly for rushing that Yasha first when it doesn't really do that much.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's true. Diffusal Blade would have been nicer, but Diffusal Blade is around the corner for him, so that's good news. No tail, still with bracers. I mean, in terms of map control, Fnatic is doing actually pretty well. They have got the Roshan pit warded, the river in the mid lane warded, and of course the high ground at the Radiant spot warded as well. And they just have some nice control over their own jungle for that. On the other side, Mousesports don't really have that much control. They've got 1 observer ward in the mid lane, and the others are just 2 sentries to try and take down Phantom Lancers and Weavers. As we have got the smoke up Pass and Synderen, but they give up on their smoke. TP top for Pass to help out Black if need be. And Synderen actually just, you know, walking past to make sure that I am wrong because he plays another observer ward.
Invisibility.
And another one, yes. That's 2 observer wards placed since I said that, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, the game's gotten slightly passive again. We're watching everyone kind of go back to farming. I think Mousesports are happy that they were able to take the kills they found elsewhere. And Koikva is still the only one who has died on their team, which is, you know, it sucks for Koikva, but it's pretty good for everyone else. And Fnatic, in the meantime, they're realizing that they weren't really coming out ahead when they were trying to take these fights against Mousesports.
You're dead.
Oh,
Invisibility
well,
rune, that's what he had, but there was a sentry ward down, and Fiend Script comes up. I mean, they saw him picking up that rune. Wait a second, Blink Lasso, Koikva in a lot of trouble. Here comes the rest of Fnatic helping out. Weaver on the way, and that should be Koikva dead. Medallion used and enough damage to take him down, and the double kill for Era in the end gets counted as a double kill for also taking down a Naga Siren, and all of a sudden Era, looking pretty solid again, has got that Diffusal Blade, and it shows.
Yeah, Era's continuing to do quite well. He's still behind Gyrocopter by a pretty hefty margin in terms of total net worth, but he is doing well for himself, and it's going to be a while before Gyrocopter is really able to have so big an impact that it's not going to matter about Phantom Lancer's farm. They're going for Roshan here. I don't know if they're going to be able to do this particularly quickly.
They don't have a medallion, do they?
No.
But they do have the Riptide. That definitely helps. However, Fnatic, they do have that ward up there, and I think they have an idea that this is going on. So they're going to come in, or at least Fly is going to maybe send some Illuminates through, or Trixie's going to blink. Doesn't get anybody up the high ground with his Flame Break. Does get a lot of harassment thrown on him though, and he actually drops. That's going to be a kill for Mouse. Here comes the song, looking to take down the rest, but only No-Tail is stuck here, and the rest of Fnatic has backed off. No-Tail will try to do what he can, but dead he is for sure. Hani went back bottom to continue to farm. Fly went back middle to continue to farm as a nice keeper of light should. And that is going to be Roshan taken by Mousesports. With the BKB up on Black and the and the Aegis up on Black as well, they might try to force out some more 5-on-5 fights when they know that their lanes are pushed out, obviously.
Yeah, with BKB and Aegis, definitely in a position where they can sort of just force the issue right now. What you want to do as a Phantom Lancer, you know that he's a very powerful carry, that it's sort of a clock. Like, if Phantom Lancer just continues to farm, eventually he's going to become so even if you can deal with him, it's a real hassle to deal with him. All those illusions going to be constantly split pushing you, and you can't find the real one to take him down in a
I'm gonna
good
call you
time.
back.
There.
You're kind
Am I
of cutting.
breaking up?
Yes.
Okay.
Calling him back. Hello. You're muted. You have
No, I hadn't answered the call yet.
Oh. That would be the reason why.
Yeah.
Era has been moved around constantly, by the way, by this Keeper of Light. He's just been recalled twice in the last minute. That's nice. But he continues farming on the top lane. He's got 2,700 gold. He's gonna find Black soon. Here comes the call down. There goes the doppelwalk. Black gets himself some extra farm, forces the lane back. Do we have a gem actually up on anybody of Mousesports? I don't think so, right? Nope, just sentries. Never mind that. I mean, that's something that Mousesports should be probably looking towards fairly soon. It's 20 minutes in. According to Winter, the time to buy the gem to continue to shut down your opponent and, you know, gain that extra map control. Especially also up against the Weaver and the Phantom Lancer is going to be nice. But let's see if Mousesports do that. And of course, when they do that, they could use it to 5-man push as well. But
That's certainly true. They can try to do that to their best extent. I really like this play from Fnatic, that they're moving Phantom around with Recall so much, putting his farm very heavily. Era's almost caught up now in terms of net worth.
it doesn't work. The recalling off the Skype didn't really work.
Okay. I'm restarting my Skype.
Okay.
See if that happens.
Coming back, I will accept your call when you call. Promise. We have a Force Staff up on the Batrider in the meantime, so that's going to be him being able to blink in, Force Staff himself out, not going to be in that much danger anymore as we saw him being in at the Roshan pit. We've got Fada building towards the Hex, building towards that side of the Vice, and has got his gem now, so that's good. Well, I say his gem, but I believe it got, yeah, it got picked up by Synderen. Synderen is the hard support, so he doesn't really have anything himself apart from mana boots, and even the mana boots are not really there for himself. Apart from, of course, having mana to throw out the song if he's gonna get burnt by some Phantom Lancer illusions. Then at least he will be able to mana boot use the song, and that's great. But yeah, it's mostly for his team. We've got a heart being built up by the Phantom Lancer in the meantime, by the way, and that's gonna be very dangerous because split pushing for Fnatic is a very good possibility. And I mean, Mousesports, they can definitely counter push, don't get me wrong. They've got, of course, the Fade Bolt, they've got also the the Riptides and the Illusions. And they got the Gyrocopter, which is great. But the Gyrocopter, you kind of don't want to spend his efforts to just counter push the Phantom Lancer. So Mousesports should probably try to put a stop to Era's farming streak, or at least try to. They are gonna find themselves Trixie though. The song comes in, and that means that Fada gets himself away. They should be able to take down Trixie at least. Cooldown comes in, and that's gonna be a Force Staff into safety from Trixie, but it's not gonna work out. Rocket Barrage is still gonna be there. It's not gonna work out. No, it's not gonna work out. There we go. That's a kill. Welcome back! Now you muted yourself.
Yeah, time I did mute myself.
Ha! Told you.
Yes. All right. Hopefully it's better now.
Yeah, it is.
I ran a ping.
For now it is.
Okay, so I don't, hopefully it stays that way.
Yes.
So it's. I agree with you. I'm saying because Phantom Lancer, they do want to shut down his farm, and I don't know what their strategy is for that. It's probably just get a couple up and then train the issue.
It didn't work.
Shoot.
Yeah. Shoot. What's the next option?
Yeah, keep going. I have an idea. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. He'll be right back. And hopefully the game won't end until then. Even though, I mean, the way this game is going, I mean, Kanaz already said it at the start of the game, right? He hopes that it wouldn't turn into a bit of a farm fest. Now, let me tell you something. This is a farm fest. Both teams have got an okay late game lineup. I think I would actually prefer Fnatic's one purely for their split push possibilities. While for Mousesports, I mean, they have got this Gyrocopter that can really be very fat and should be able to team fight his way through. But both teams will probably not fight unless they know that they're going to be winning that fight. And one thing that is very important for that is the thing that this Gyrocopter still has, the Aegis. but it's gonna lose soon. So 30 seconds until Black loses that one. And Mousesports, they weren't able to force out a fight with that Aegis. Means that they won't have an Aegis next time they fight. Means that maybe, well, maybe they feel like they are ahead enough with the scythe device that they have and with the blink dagger up on the Rubik that they have. I mean, they get more and more items, right? I mean, there's no secret to that one. We even have a basher up on the bear, even though he doesn't really have the attack speed just yet, but it's still quite nice. Mousesports, well, making their way over. Might be trying something here, at least force Fnatic back from where they are. They might lose their tier 1 for a tier 2, which wouldn't be too bad of a trade. But they have to be careful about not trading the tier 2 on the top lane, because if you're up against a team that split pushes a lot, you don't want to have a tier 3 bear, because I mean, you're gonna trade that next time you fight, there's no doubt about that. Tower goes down in the bottom lane, that's nice, the fortification was used. And they don't lose their own tower, they use actually their own fortification, defending their tier 2 top. TP's come in, blink last 2 up on Synderen, but Fnatic, they're not gonna chase this, and Snare still hits up on Trixie. Blink forward from pass, in comes a telekinesis probably as well. No, Hex first, telekinesis later, and that's gonna be Trixie getting picked off. They do lose the tier 3 top. Getting a Battle Rider is quite neat though, meaning that Fnatic can't really fight for a while, purely because, well, they don't have that possibility to make a fight 4 on 5, which is what a Bat Rider brings to you. The ability to just single someone out, blink, first staff him out, take him down, and then knowing that your enemy is going to be one man down. And of course, you have got your Bane there as well with that Fiend script. That means you're going to be fighting up against 3 people, and that's going to be something that that Phantom Lancer is going to be able to deal with. Phantom Lancer, of course, we already saw completed the heart. There's not that much that for Fnatic that can actually, or for Mousesports, that can actually take those illusions down, but the MKB will definitely help, especially since there's going to be probably at some point the butterfly build up by Era, or on the Weaver by that, in that case.
Invisibility.
And we're still waiting on Knaz. I'm just checking if he has said something, but nope. Nor has he called me back on Skype, so we're just waiting for that one. But I will entertain you in the meantime, because I can for sure. I can also show you that Mousesports is still pretty far ahead, but the main thing that we see here is that it's actually starting to flatten out a little bit. That means that people are catching up with the farm, and Mousesports still 7,500 ahead. But if Fnatic is able to hold their own this way, then that goal difference doesn't matter. And of course, that's something that we see in basically every Phantom Lancer game. Oh, blink forward. Lasso gets himself the OD. This time no song to save Fada, and Fada will end up going down. Nicely done. Looking for another pickup, won't be able to find it. Everybody backs off. That's going to be a kill for Fnatic, of course. One that will prevent Mousesports from pushing in. We have got a Roshan up again in 1 minute though, and Fada will be back up again for that one. 1.5 minute rather. But the one thing that I wanted to say earlier, I mean, completely lost my train of thought actually, is that, I mean, Phantom Lancer, he doesn't care about gold graphs or what stuff like that, or maybe even being raxed down. When he is big, he can basically 5 on or 1 on 5 the entire enemy team. Of course, that is bar the gyrocopter at this point, but still, it is a very strong hero. And split pushing is, I mean, even his illusions are very strong because of that heart. Split pushing is so easy for him right now. Chipping away at towers. Mousesports does not have a living armor or something to keep their towers up. And that split push can kill off Mousesports regardless on how much gold or experience Fnatic is behind. And actually this Phantom Lancer is almost as fat as Black is on his gyrocopter. Got his diffuser blade at level 2 as well. He's got still 2200 gold in his inventory. And we already see supports trying to gather up their forces to try and control this Roche pit, which is of course going to be very important. In the meantime, a bear might be in some trouble there, but is able to get himself out. A lone druid, TP's out. Very nice, very safe. We've got 4 people mid for Mousesports. Let's see what they can do with that. Tier 2 tower is going to be the target. They have all 5 heroes. If they win a fight here, they will be able to take down Roshan. If they lose a fight here, they will lose Roshan and a tier 1 tower. So heavy stakes here for Mousesports. But they don't commit yet. They can't commit yet. I mean, it's the Broodmother effect all over again. This time it's a Phantom Lancer that does that, but the Broodmother effect is of course,
Radiant's middle
if you leave him alone for a little while, he will push down your towers and you will be forced back to your base, so you can't leave your base for all too long. They do take quite a chunk of damage out of this tier 2 tower. There's no fortification up for Fnatic, by the way, so this tower should probably die. No deny coming in either, and that's a black with an extra bit of gold. Let's see if they can take down Roshan with this. No, they can't, because they would lose their top lane for it, and that's not going to be worth it. Not worth it at all. Black comes in with Flag Cannon to force everything back, though. Words up for Mousesports around this Roche pit either. I mean, we know that there's gems. I mean, fair enough. And I say gems, but there's just that one gem. Of course, Fada had the gem for Mousesports at the start. Fada, who finds himself Hani, turns him into a piglet, but time-lapse will be there and Hani will be safe. But yeah, the gem that Cinnamon bought is now in the hands of the Batrider, so Trixie has got his gem. Taken when took Fada down. Meaning that Mousesports can't really ward the ancient or the Roshan pit, or at least not without knowing or without being safe that the wards aren't getting taken down again.
Twice as high.
They couldn't, and they have to check out Roshan. Oh, there's a call. That's a call that I'm answering. Welcome back.
Yeah, I hope it's good now.
Me too.
Hopefully.
Me too.
I restarted my rudder and everything seems calm, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, you sound proper to me, so it's fine. Mousesports taking the Roshan. Fnatic actually not even thinking about coming in, even though they are very well aware that this is going on.
Yeah, well, we saw them the last attempt. Didn't go so hot, and they lost a couple heroes and didn't take Roshan anyways.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's true. Fnatic do have that gem, and I mean, the split push possibility from Fnatic is still, I mean, no matter how many ages or gold you have, it's still so scary. I mean, 4,500 gold up on Era, he is just continue farming, and I mean, this is the Phantom Lancer that people feared, right? I mean, this is why he got banned out. Because he can do exactly what he's doing right now, push all the lanes out, and with help of the Keeper of the Light, I mean, he doesn't only help on the lane, but Era is being moved around by Fly like crazy. Every lane where he wants to be, he can just be taken down. And Fly is just basically his taxi. He's spending the gold. Era back towards the top lane because he got caught that way. In the meantime, his illusions will take down a tier 1 in the mid lane. Nice deny though.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Yeah, things... This is what you don't want to be up against when you have a Phantom Lancer on the other team where he's getting big. Especially with Keeper Light, that's why the combo is scary.
Oh, wow. Era just used the teleport scroll. Call the newspapers.
That's a Scythe of Vice picked up on Hani on the Weaver.
It's an interesting choice. I mean, it basically says, like, you know what? I'm no longer the carry. I'm gonna leave that all up to Era. I am now a utility hero to hex people that are not in BKB. By the way, Black has next to his BKB also a Butterfly now. He went all in for that one, but he does have that Aegis, so has got that safety. And Mousesports pushing out the one lane where they don't have a tier 2 tower standing it, of course, willing to trade a tier 2 of their own for maybe a tier 3 in a fight. If they get this tier 2 first for free, they should be able to, unless Trixie can make something happen here. But I don't think he can.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely to be able to stop this. So they're trading towers.
Dire's middle
I
tower
feel like this
is under
favors Fnatic though, with the split pushing power that they have. The less towers are on the map, the easier it is for them to split push into the enemy base.
Yeah, well, their tier 2 of their own in the mid lane will drop. Honey as well as Era taking it down, so basically it's a tier 2 trade, but for one, a team used 5 heroes to push it down, and for the other there were only 2 needed. And in comes the TPs for the team that only needed 2 heroes to take that tier 2 tower down. So that means that indeed Mousesports they don't really get anything favorable out of that one, while Fnatic does.
Yeah, they have that last tier 2. It's good that they ported down there with a couple heroes to defend it, to make sure that the last tier 2 they have on the map is safe. But they need to decide what they're going to do with this Aegis. They have 3 minutes left. It wouldn't surprise me to just see farming for buyback on Gyro, and then they try and make something happen. He's pretty close to it too.
Yeah. Then he can die 3 times. Awesome.
So many deaths.
Yep. What do you think Naga Siren is saving up for? She's got 2100 gold.
I mean, there's a couple items that they can go for that would be very powerful. Obviously, a BKB would be very good if they can grab that, just for some survivability purposes. I don't know if that's going to be the case. A Hex could also be powerful, but it's going to take a long time for him to really be able to finish up that Hex.
Bada gets Hex, get lassoed, it's killed. Trixie.
That's a good pick.
Another kill. He's actually got a Ghost Scepter. And still has that haste rune. That works out.
That's a very good pick-off for them to find, to manage to get the Outworld down. He doesn't really want to spend the buyback. He's getting quite a bit of gold right now, so he's going to try and hang on to it. And a Blink Dagger actually picked up by Bane now, so that's some good initiation power.
Yeah, and it's getting scary for Mouse, I think. I mean, they're ahead on gold and experience, yeah, but at the moment, I don't think they're ahead of the game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's see.
Yeah, they're definitely in a position where that can get real bad real fast, especially just against the pushing power they have with the Phantom Lancer. If they make a
Cinnamon
mistake...
throws out the song, finds Trixie, finds Fly. OD buys back, in comes a cooldown, they want to take down the Phantom Lancer. He's actually on the run. Let's see if they can take him down. All those illusions, they might actually kill Puss. In the meantime, Naga Siren does end up going down because his entire team is chasing down someone that they can't catch. And that means that that was just a big fail initiation for Mousesports. Can't do anything with it, losing the Naga Siren. And awkward play all around.
Yeah, I have a feeling Cindered's not going to be particularly pleased with that fight. His team decided to ditch him. They chased after Phantom Lancer and just can't get him at all. And they'll smoke up from Fnatic in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to backstab anybody who tries to farm here. Even Era gets caught in there. They want to go for Fada, Blink Lasso. They get him again, and they will take him down again. And that means that no OD for another 66 seconds. No buyback because he just bought back for that one fight. I mean, they looked to fight, didn't end up fighting, didn't end up taking anything, and losing their bought back hero again. That's pretty painful. Tier 2 tower will fall guaranteed. The question is, will Fnatic try to push up high ground? Because they've got Era with them as well, so they have a chance. The downside is that Era doesn't have time to build up any illusions in this one. Or maybe now he will have. If they just leave him to attack things. Yeah, he has an army of illusions. Cooldown comes down. Black Cannon, Black. He has still got that BKB. Still 10 seconds left. Era gets ensnared. Black gets hexed up. Didn't use his BKB in time. Does have that Aegis still, so we'll be back. No! His Aegis actually disappeared. Never mind that. He does buy back though. Synderen in some trouble, getting forced back by illusions. The Bear also in some trouble himself with that Assault Cuirass trying to help out. Only Black is the one that died so far. And with that buyback, it looks like Fnatic almost got out of this what they wanted, but if you look at their HP bars, I mean, it didn't even look like they fought at all.
Yeah, Mousesports are playing kind of sloppy here. They're making mistakes they can't really afford to make when they're in this kind of position. Phantom Lancer is just such a great hero for punishing these sorts of plays, and OD... Safada bought back there when he was about to respawn because they were going to go for that fight. I didn't even notice he bought back until you were talking about it. So he was about to respawn. He waited on the buyback for a long time, then buys back, then dies again, and this time has no buyback. Black dies immediately within like seconds of the Aegis going down.
Yeah, that was really sad.
It's just like all these little tiny mistakes that are happening for Mousesports, but they're starting to add up, and that's going to make it very difficult for them to come back if they make a couple more of them.
And Mousesports is taking over the Radiant jungle. Perhaps they try to make something happen. I love the spell stolen by Pass, by the way. He's got himself a doppel walk. Look, he create yellow illusions of himself. It looks kind of silly.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's those Rubik illusions that are so powerful.
Yeah, it looks cool.
So
gold.
powerful.
He's like gold. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, Mousesports, they what can they do right now? Do you think they should just go 5-man push? Because if they do, they'll get split pushed. But that's not really an option.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. They're in a position where they can't afford to just get split pushed out of it. But if the longer they wait, the more likely that happens. is realistically. They're not going to be able to defend forever. Phantom Lancer, as he gets large, scales very well. And Gyrocopter will eventually kind of hit his peak. Flat Cannon's a very strong spell, but so's Juxtapose, I guess, for Phantom Lancer.
Desperation Rapier? Time?
I mean, it might be. Mouse aren't really the team to do that, but
Yeah.
it could be getting close.
Well, we have got Black just picking up Boots of Travel, so I guess he's no longer, or at least he doesn't want to do it right now. Talking about Boots of Travel, of course, we also saw Fly picking his one up. I really love this, because he is just really such a taxi for Era right now, just bringing him to the lane where Era is supposed to be farming. Era, by the way, who's still walking around with Tranquil Boots. Which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's possible he should have upgraded those to something else. He's probably waiting to make the Boots of Travel, and he wants to have buyback as well, I would guess. I'm not sure what he would want for his 6th item slot, but I can't imagine he buys it until after the Boots of Travel to make sure he always has the TP, and obviously then he would replace the TP scroll.
Let's see, we have got Fnatic again on the bottom lane. Everybody of Mousesports is on the top side of the map though, so they won't be able to find anybody. But Fnatic is in a state where they can force out TP, so showing up already awards 2 TPs, because Koifa TP'd in as well as Black, so he got the 2 cores actually getting themselves ready to defend the lane. Getting a lot of gold there for Black with the Flag Cannon.
Yeah, one of the best parts of having Gyrocopter on your team is just how quickly he can get the gold when he has Flag Cannon. Just, fire it off, take down giant creep waves all at once.
I like that No-Till has a Blink Dagger while he still has Brown Boots. Kind of funny. Just looking for more items that are not seen yet. I mean, we have got a gem again up on Mousesports, this time bought by Pass. I think the Batrider is still holding on to Cinerin's gem, yep. Mousesports. 2 gems, nice OD dodge for the lance. Also, of course, not allowing some vision there to be there. Quite far, by the way, his bear. He has got that salted grass. He now also picked himself up a Demon Edge, so the MKB is on the way. But of course that will help a little bit against the butterfly up on Era, but you first have to find the real Era. That's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest strengths of Phantom Lancer is even as he gets tanky, it's not... Like, it's great to be tanky because it makes your illusions tanky as well, but the fact that your illusions make it so it's hard to target the real you as long as you don't panic and like double walk when they have vision is very, very powerful of an effect. It's just so hard to get the real Phantom Lancer, figure out where he is and then focus him down. And if you waste a spell on an illusion, especially a key spell like a Hex or something, it can completely turn the tide of a fight.
Yeah, it looks like Koifa is about to go down. Fiend Script will be there, Nightmare on one, Fiend Script with the other. Very nicely done. And Tangle still up on No-Till, but Koifa still dies. I like this a lot. Did you see that? Because Koifa just, he took the Nightmare over with his bear, like everybody always does on a lone druid. And No-Till just waited for that, and then Fiend Script on the other, and instantly nobody could do anything anymore. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's really good, like, minor plays. I don't know necessarily if he needed... So, like, the Fiend's Grip he could have done at any point, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. So here's the thing: Mousesports are getting picked off in the rain jungle quite a bit. Fada has died in the rain jungle. Now Quake's dying in the rain jungle. I understand that they want to farm the map, take as much advantage everywhere as they can, but they can't afford to be getting picked off at this point in the game. We just Scotty picked up by Weaver. What?
What happened? But it's cool. I like it. He is really a utility hero, slowing other people down. It's also cool. And by the way, this Phantom Lancer is quite rich. He's got 7k gold. Still with Tranquil Boots, but 7k gold.
Yeah, no big deal. He's gonna buy Rapier on Phantom Lancer. It's so good with the illusions.
Cool. Yep. That will be cool. Well, we'll see. I mean, he is really farming like a crazy person right now. And I mean, you said it at the start that you were saying like this could be turning into a farm fest.
Farmathon.
I think you you jinxed it.
Yeah, I mean, I probably did. When you see this kind of lineup, it's pretty clear that unless someone does something incredibly silly and like throws the game away early, it's going to be a farm off. And Fnatic look like they're getting the best of it right now.
Yeah, for sure. taking control of the dire jungle now as well. We still have Mousesports on the bottom lane again. They haven't been able to do that much just yet, in terms of setting up with their Naga Siren song. I mean, we've seen one real big setup on the bottom lane that really failed hard, where they didn't get any kills out of it and they lost their Naga Siren, who still has 3k gold by the way. But other than that, I mean, that big teamfight combination that Mousesports has, they haven't been able to put it to use. It's real tough. We actually have got Era coming on the bottom lane looking to take a fight. Here comes a Hex though, the gem is there. Looking for Era, they know it's a real one but they can't take it down, they have to run. Telekinesis trying to slow it down, pass, blinks and TP's out. Should be able to do just that. There, he is safe, Fada's safe, everybody's safe, everybody happy. Mousesports lives.
Yeah, Mousesports live, but they don't do anything with their time again. They're still just not accomplishing anything. And they need to. They're gonna slowly get just completely pushed out of this game. Or we're gonna take it to the super late game where it's gonna be like a coin flip and whoever happens to get the best initiation might just win the game.
For now, it's still on Fnatic that is ahead, of course. Even with a bit of a poor initiation from their side, Era in his current state will be able to turn this around. Fada, we've seen. Okay, this is awkward. Fiend skip up on Fada though. Last two up on Black because he came around to try and help out. Eclipse gets dropped. No tail will be the one to drop first. Fada still alive. Black still alive. Let's see if they can find No Tail. They will be able to. Pastel, Fiend script. That's gonna be a pickoff. 2 pickoffs on heroes for Mousesports. Taking down the Weaver, of course, pretty big win for Mousesports. Is it enough? Probably not, because on the bottom lane there is was a Phantom Lancer with illusions, took down half of the tier 3 tower, and he's now already back on the top lane, and he doesn't care about Mousesports hanging around there apparently. Nice hexes though, that looked funny. Oh, Era getting entangled up. They know it's the real one, but where's the damage gonna come from? Astral Imprisonment, keeping Fada safe for a little while longer, but I say a little while because he's already dead. That's a dominating Phantom Lancer. Killing off an OD that in theory should be the one to be a counter to Era, because of course his ulti as well as his orb attack does clean out illusions fairly fast, but that was quite the kill.
Yeah, it's Fada's in a point where he can't fight Era at all, which is real disappointing. The orb does more damage to illusions, but the illusions propagate more quickly than Fada can attack, so it doesn't really work sort of at this stage of the game as a counter like they probably want it to. Say's Eclipse is still certainly good. We see 3,600 gold up on Outworld. Naga finally bought something against Sanj, so it looks like he's going for Heaven's Halberd actually.
Black getting last super, the telekinesis saves his life for a little while longer. He does have a BKB, turns it on, goes for cooldown. Black cannot turn on. Last two stolen by Pass, finds Hani, Hani drops. Another kill on the Weaver. And the OD gets himself back into this fight after buying back. Can they take down Era? Telekinesis there. It might be enough. Illuminates flying through, trying to stop, trying to slow him. Era, his Aegis gets burned. Can they take him down again? No, I doubt it. They have to back off. They have to be careful. Mana Leak still up on Fada. Doesn't seem to care about it, but then again, he has got that Essence Aura. Bit of an impasse here.
It's just continuing on. They're just going to keep pushing now with these illusions, right-click them on the tower, and see what they can do about it. And as it's going right now, it doesn't look like Mouse can really do that much. Black almost died there just to clear off the illusions. He managed to get Hani down as well, but Black is not even surviving as well as he needs to be in these fights. He probably needs to finish his Satanic, but he's picked up a Demon Edge. And picking up the Demon Edge is a pretty good sign that we're going to see the Rapier come out next.
Especially since he already has an MKB, which would be the second option.
I mean, it could also be Daedalus. Daedalus is the other clear thing, and actually, he's got the Satanic recipe, so he's picking up Satanic first. I think this is right. He really needs that lifesteal.
Yeah. Oh, hicks up on Trixie. Trixie's in trouble. Trixie alive. Trixie dead. Wow. Sanity's Eclipse used for that one. That might be a little bit trigger happy. Oh, Pass using his Ghost Scepter and the Illuminate flies in. Not the most well, painless ordeals. Oh, Song. They know who's the real Era here, but are they gonna find? I mean, this is a lot of people from Fnatic sitting around there. Cooldown comes down up on Era, but he gets himself out with the Mantis Tau. Hex up on Synderen. Honey trying to chase him down. Should be a kill going the way of Fnatic. There we go. That's one pickup. In comes the S for imprisonment. Blinking lasso for Black. Trixie gets lassoed, or Trixie gets hexed, but still flies away. Black turns on his BKB, takes a ton of damage though, but his butterfly actually helping him quite a bit right now. Lasso again, stolen by Pass. Finds the real Era. I'm not sure if that's what he wanted to do because he might have just killed off Black. No, Black lives for a little while longer. It is gonna be the Rubik that dies. Fada will go down as well, as Era is not done just yet. Gets entangled, so we'll be saving Koikfa, but the Illusion's still chasing him down, and Koikfa trying to run completely out of mana, gets another lance thrown at him, and that's gonna be 4 dead on the side of Mousesports, and this time no buybacks on anybody on the side of Mousesports, and they take down the 5th as well. They take down Black, and that's gonna be a team wipe, an ultra kill for Era, and this should be a Lane of Rex, if not more.
Yeah, this should be pretty much GG. 90 seconds on Black, no buyback. That's way too much time, and yeah, they're gonna call it.
Yeah, they call the GG, and that will mean that we'll see a throne explode soon. Although I'm thinking that perhaps it is Fnatic that for the system called the GG first, so they clicked on cancel and nobody else calls GG. So, oh, there we go. That took some time. Mousesports gets forced to a 3rd game. Fnatic looking strong in this game. 50 minutes of farming, but of course Era making it through. Who cares about gold graphs and such if you have a Phantom Lancer? And we're gonna see if Mousesports can take the 3rd game, or if Fnatic will. We have got another 3rd game in a best of 3 series. We've already had our stump for the series, so this one should be a good one again, considering the results of the previous best of 3. I'm just going to assume those type of games continue. And one thing I want to point out is that Era actually has 11 out of the 18 kills. Actually, last hits he's been in 14 out of them, but yeah, that's quite insane.
Yeah, Era did particularly well this game, and they just let Lancer kind of get out of control. They needed to try and shut him down, or just him a little bit more early. He ended the game with 15,000 gold.
Yep.
Just sitting in his coffers. It's like, yeah, whatever, I don't need to buy items. I'm a Phantom Lancer.
Yep. Awesome. Well, let's see our 3rd game. Of course, you're watching the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament, and we're going to see which one of these 2 teams will face up against Fnatic tomorrow in the Grand Finals Best of 5. So stick around, and we'll be right back.